I am officially in Hong Kong. It is so flippin' hot. Hello, I am officially in Hong Kong. So this is my first solo trip ever, like traveling to a destination that I've never been before and that I'm not meeting anyone here. Like I'm just traveling by myself, and it's been super fun. I was like really nervous about it, so I did a ton of research. Fortunately, Hong Kong's subway system, or like they call it MTR, is very similar to Taiwan's MRT. So I feel like that makes navigating a lot easier, and honestly, it feels a lot like Taiwan, but it also feels a little bit more like big city and like a little bit more chaotic in my opinion, or maybe it's just because this is my first time here, so I feel a little bit chaotic on the inside. I landed not too long ago, flew through immigration, got my SIM card, exchanged my money, got my little octopus card, which is like the card that you use to travel with, and you basically top it up and then you swipe it to get into the MTR and all of the buses and whatnot. So yeah, I just checked into my hostel. It is, I don't know, I think it's around 4 right now. So I'm going to just freshen up, and the first thing on the itinerary is to visit the Avenue of Stars and Victoria Harbor. Supposedly Hong Kong has like the largest amount of skyscrapers in the world, so I'm very excited because I'm very much a city person, a city girl. My dad is actually from Hong Kong. He passed away a long time ago, and I used to be fluent in Cantonese, but I don't speak anymore, so it's like very weird because I hear people speaking Cantonese and I like can understand what they're saying kind of, but I can't speak it, and it feels very familiar but also like very foreign at the same time, and I don't know, it's just making me feel a lot of things right now. And I should give a little hostel tour. What am I saying? Hostel tour. So I booked this place and it's tiny, and it's like a hostel. It's called Hong Kong Hostel, and it's in this building called Sim Sha Shui Mansion, and it's basically like just a bunch of flats that people have bought out and remade into kind of like cheap hotels and hostels for tourists and travelers. But yeah, this is my room. So that's my bathroom, and that's my front door. And over here is my sleeping quarters. Hello. And yeah, and this is the bed, and there's AC, thank God, because it's like 33 degrees Celsius outside. The bed is quite short. I was just thinking how like if my boyfriend were here, he wouldn't be able to fit on this bed, but luckily I'm pretty short, so it's good enough for me. I'm only gonna be here for a total of 5 days, so I flew in today and then I have like 3 full days, and then I go home on the last day. hostel. It is currently 11:30 p.m. Ooh, what's going on with my bangs? It's actually cool. It's actually quite loud in here. I can hear like the kids next door like jumping on their bed. So it's fine. This is a very budget option. So just if you're planning on coming here and spending a lot of time in your accommodation, then I recommend maybe paying a little bit extra for some more luxuries. My itinerary for tomorrow is to visit Disneyland, and I'm so excited. I'm like a sucker for theme parks and amusement parks, and I grew up in Southern California in Orange County, so I went to Disneyland California quite a bit. Supposedly this Disneyland Hong Kong is the smallest of the Disneylands, but I'm very excited about it. Excited to visit World of Frozen and also Mystic Manor. Anyways, I need to go to bed because I want to get up early to go to the park right as it opens. Hopefully I don't get rained out the entire day. All right, good night. So I finally made it into the park. The line outside was so long, and I only came like 15 minutes after the doors opened, and I think I waited like 45 minutes just to get in, and it was like blistering hot. And then right when I got in, it started to rain, even though it's sunny. But upon entering, I was a little surprised to see how similar it is to Disneyland California. But then I realized that this is actually a replica of Disneyland California's Main Street. Just turn it around. There's the city hall and the fire department. There's the train over there, and then that's down the main street. But it's essentially just the same, at least for this part. But I'm excited to keep going and see what the castle looks like. So that right there was actually Duffy and Friends, and Duffy is actually Mickey's teddy bear, and it was originally introduced in Disney World, but it wasn't so popular, and it was reintroduced in Asia, and now it's like super popular here. It's like everyone has like Duffy bags and Duffy little trinkets and stuff, like that right there if you can see. But yeah, so Duffy and Friends, I believe, is what they're called. But I think that franchise and all of the merchandise is like exclusive to Hong Kong Disneyland and and Tokyo Disneyland, I believe. Whew, I need to go into the shade. So, a quick mid-park update while I drink my Coke. I rode 2 rides. The lines were about like 20 minutes long, but it is so hot. I had to go get myself a little cap, and then right under the camera is a little fan. Actually, I think I can show you. Here it is. But behind me is the Hong Kong Disneyland Castle. And I forget what it's called, but it's not a castle that belongs to one of the princesses. I believe this was a replica of the Sleeping Beauty's castle in California, but they decided to change it up. And now it's like
a mishmash of all of the different princesses' castles. So it's like a tribute to all of the queens and princesses in the Disney kingdom, I guess. But yeah. Oh my god. A lot of the restaurants are closed today for some reason. Oh. So I stumbled into Tomorrowland and Star, I believe it's called Starliner Diner, has a veggie burger. Oh. So I got the combo. Yeah, I don't know if I'd come back to Hong Kong in July. It is way too humid and hot. Anyways, here's the burger. It's quite small. It looks okay. Oh wow, that's actually really good. That plant-based patty is really good. I felt like at the beginning of the year, I just said I wanted to go to Hong Kong, and then like, poof, now I'm here. I feel like the year just started and now I'm like in Hong Kong. It was truly all a blur between like teaching preschool and doing my freelancing work. Things just like, I was so busy, it just like flew by. And after the summer, I'm gonna start a new teaching job. So, I don't know, this summer feels like a very transitional period. I'm worried this might actually be me, but the receipt says veg. Anyways.
Okay, so it's time for a little mid-trip recap while I disinfect my phone and eat some almonds. But today is the end of my second full day here. The MTR and the bus is super easy to navigate, and because am currently living in Taiwan, I feel like I'm a lot more familiar with the bus and transportation systems here, because it is very similar to Taipei. So yesterday I went to Disneyland. I didn't realize that Disneyland Hong Kong is kind of like almost a mini replica of Disneyland Anaheim. The main street is a replica of Anaheim Disneyland's main street, and there's also like a Tomorrowland, a Fantasyland, and like 50% of the rides are basically the same. I feel like almost all of the rides are like the same, as in like they have the same technology and the same layout, but the story is like tweaked a little bit. Like Mystic Manor is essentially Haunted Mansion, but you know, it's just like a little bit different story. And what's it, the Iron Man experience is basically Star Tours, except it's Iron Man and Iron Man is saving Hydra. And I feel like I preferred that storyline a little bit more than Star Tours, but it was like blistering hot during that midday, like 12 to 3. Like no one was like outside at all because it was actually like so unbearably hot. Overall, I had a lot of fun. I do feel like I still prefer Anaheim Disneyland. That's because, you know, that's the Disneyland that I grew up with, and I know it's such a privilege to even make that sentence. I just feel like the production value at Anaheim Disneyland is a little bit better. But not to say that I didn't enjoy this Disneyland. I just thought that, you know, it's a little bit smaller on scale. But again, I did pay less for this Disneyland, so yeah. Anyways, I had an appointment to go make my very own cup noodles at the Cup Noodle Museum. And this was really cool. The museum part was just more like a tiny little exhibit. But what's cool about this place is that they offer like 3 different kinds of workshops. So like you can make your own cup noodle. I think this is the most popular one. And then there's one where you can also make your own granola. I don't know. But this was one I was interested in. but it's like super simple. The the only part that is kind of like DIY is that you draw on you kind of design your own cup noodle. As you can see, I like drew on it, and then you like pick what soup base and what toppings you want. So you like check it off in a little list, and then you hand it over to the worker, and the worker kind of just puts everything in, and then they shrink wrap it, and then they put it in this air bag thing for you, which is really cool. So I did that, and then I had vegetarian dim sum today, which was like a big thing for me because I love dim sum, and I feel like it's hard to find like vegetarian dim sum or like where everything on the menu is vegetarian. So I had to go and try that, and I did, and it was amazing. This place was like came highly recommended, and I needed to call to make reservations. Like they don't accept walk-ins at all, and it was well worth it. It was delicious, and I ate until I almost threw up. So yeah. Anyways, the goal tomorrow is to see the monster building, which is I'm very excited about that. That's that one building that you see in all of the pictures of Hong Kong, where it's kind of like the crazy architecture, where it's just like a lot of apartments like stacked next to each other, and they kind of make like this U shape, and it's like crazy because it looks so almost like dystopian. Like most of the city kind of looks like that, but I guess this is like the most extreme example of how limited space is here. I'm going to go visit Victoria Peak, so I'm going to try to take the tram. There's apparently a very cute like old-fashioned tram that takes you to the top of Victoria Peak, if I'm correct. Then after, I'm going to try and make my way to the Choi Hung Estate basketball court, and that's that one like basketball court that like overlooks this very like colorful apartment building, and yeah, it looks really pretty, so I just want to take a picture with it. So we're gonna try to do all that, and then also try to figure out if I can get some food along the way. Another day of walking, and then Sunday I'm checking out, and yeah, heading back. Hello, this is Editing Van, and thank you for watching my Hong Kong vlog. I didn't have a really good wrap up, so I'm just going to sort of recap now. It is currently February 2025. I went on that trip in July 2024. So it did take me a long while to finally edit and upload, but that's okay because vlogging is hard and editing is hard. So give your favorite content creators a break because it is very time consuming. The end of 2024 was a bit of a whirlwind, in a good way. I moved apartments, I changed jobs, I went on several more trips after that, and I also got a lot of amazing freelance opportunities, so it was quite busy. And in that whole world, when I lost a lot of my footage from Hong Kong, I realized when I was editing it. So I didn't get to show you guys as much of Hong Kong as I wanted to, but that's okay. We're learning from experience, and hopefully I can make better vlogs and travel vlogs in the future. Hong Kong was really fun. So it was my first sort of solo international trip where I was just basically doing everything on my own, and I kind of learned a lot about how to safely and comfortably solo travel. After that, I went on another solo trip by myself to Singapore. So hopefully that vlog will be coming soon, and it's not going to take 8 months to edit. At the beginning of 2024, I told myself I wanted to go somewhere new every year if I could. And Hong Kong was that year's like new destination for me. I wanted to push myself to do something kind of scary and spontaneous because as someone who is currently 29 and about to turn 30 in a couple of months, I feel that I am making less spontaneous decisions and sort of, I've become more fearful a lot of things in life. And that's okay because I know that, with age comes wisdom, and I, think before I act, which is a good thing. But I also feel like it kind of prevents me from having my own little adventures sometimes. So that was what Hong Kong was for me. It was for me to go out and do things on my own and be okay with being alone, just to prove to myself that I can do scary things sometimes and be okay at the other end of it and learn from it and go on to do more scary things. And the scary things become less and less scary as you do them. It is, like I said, currently 2025. I have a lot of goals for this year. I don't know if I will accomplish them all, but I will try my darndest. Oh, and subscribe. I am so not that consistent of an uploader. I will say in advance, full transparency. I did get a new DJI camera, so I am hoping to use it more often to justify this purchase. So yeah, thank you for watching and subscribe.